So, okay, good morning everyone. Thank you for coming in. Yes, thank you for coming in. My name is Connie Zabala, and like I said in my YouTube channel, I'm here to help you get your time freedom back. So, today we're going to discuss about how to stay consistent, organized, and focused without the stress. Hopefully, you will have some takeaways after this live session. So, I will have a short intro first. Alright, so we're going to start. Let me show you my slide. Let me know if you're seeing it, okay? Are we good? Are we good? Can you see my slides? Alright, so we're going to start na. Mamaya ko muna check yung inyong mga comments ha. Check ko muna yung aking slides. Yay! So, this is about how to stay consistent, organized, and focused without the stress. And this is a special YouTube live session by yours truly. It was actually suggested by the tribe, some of the tribe members. So, do you want to be consistent, organized, and focused? Can you comment yes on the comment section and chat section? Yes. Alright, so who this is for? This is for people who want to improve their productivity and focus. Isa ako doon. And this is for those people who are overwhelmed and stressed with so many to-dos. Now, this is also for people who are ready to push and persuade ourselves with good habits. Kasi habits talaga is the key. And then, before we start, if you haven't done so yet, turn off any distractions or any notifications, close any other tabs or apps that you are not using, and listen and pay close attention to this live session, and I want you to be present here with me. Okay, is that a good deal? Okay. So, I have a special request. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe and click the bell on this YouTube channel, and then like this video. And if you think this will be helpful to other people, please do share this video as well. So, who is this? Who this is not for? These are for people who believe that there is a magic pill for everything. Na parang isang inom lang we're good with the business, we can stay focused and all that. So this is not for those type of people. And that this is not for people who think that success is achieved without doing any hard work. And these are not for those people who will do nothing after watching this live session. Alright? So, let's move on. So, why do this? This is actually a promise YouTube live that with topics that will benefit viewers and subscribers. I finally pushed myself to it because it's sort of a punishment and a challenge to myself as well. So, hopefully, I can do this live at least once a month. Do you think that's something that you'll be interested in? Check ko muna yung sagot nyo para interactive tayo sa comments. Ay, sa chat section. The chat comments are a bit delayed, about I think 20 seconds. So I need to wait for your comments to come in. Okay, so to continue, what you can expect on this live session, first of all, you will understand yourself first before taking action. Second is you will know the 5 major factors to help us stay focused and consistent, and then the mini steps to support those major factors to increase our productivity and to stay consistent and focused. Now, bonus at the end, if you'll stay with me until the end, I'll give you a mind map copy of today's session, okay? And I'll tell you all about it later on. So consider this. I'm sharing all these tips, but take the steps based on what applies to you. So do one step at a time to avoid overwhelm. This topic is about being consistent and focused without stress, right? So try to do this one thing at a time to avoid overwhelm. And of course, progress is better. Remember that progress is better than perfection. And whatever we do, kahit gaano kaliit pa yung steps na yan, as long as we're moving, that's a progress. And it's better than being perfectionist. So who am I? A short story about me. I'm Connie Zabala, and I've been in the corporate world for 10 years, working in different industries like hotel industry, manufacturing, school, and my last was BPO. So I was laid off or retrenched twice, so I decided to finally focus on working online. So I've been in the virtual assistance industry since 2011. And now I'm focusing more on YouTube and creating videos like this for you. And I'm offering this type of service as well for YouTube marketing and management. And then, like you, of course, I struggle with focus and consistency. So, that's the reason I'm doing this, not just for you, for myself as well. And please take into heart that these tips are based on my experience and from the people that I ask and learn from. So I cannot own everything on this session. I'm just sharing you what I've learned, okay? Now, does this sound like you? You realize you need to focus, but you tend to procrastinate. And then you're aware that consistency is key to success, but it's been challenging lately. And you need help with productivity. So, I'm just checking in if you're still there. The truth is, with all these challenges that we face in life, in our business, this is what I can tell you today. You are not alone. I am not alone. You are not alone. We are not alone. So we are going to get through this together, okay? So remember these facts about focus and productivity. Number one is not only that we say that time is gold, but sleep is gold. You agree? Sleep is gold. So you cannot replace sleep with supplements or whatever pill you are taking, okay? Remember that you have to have enough sleep to produce productivity and to be effective and efficient with your work. So that's a fact. It cannot be denied. Now, habits are the easiest way to stay consistent and focused. Okay, we need to create a good habit. And then, this is based on the people that I follow. They said that it takes 15 to 20 minutes to refocus or go back in the zone. So for example, I'm creating social media post today, and then I suddenly check my messages. In order for me to go back and refocus to what I'm doing, it takes 15 to 20 minutes to refocus. Okay, remember that. Then, remember that what gets scheduled gets done. It's either you write it, be an old school, you write it in your notebook, or type it and use an app. So you need, as long as you are listing your to-dos. So what gets scheduled gets done, okay? And then only you can make or break your habits. No matter how many tips you get, no matter how many things you take or you learn, if you don't do what these people are telling you to do, then okay, good luck. And then consistency is doing things right and repeatedly. So we want to make sure that we need to do things consistent, and we have to do it right and repeatedly. So these are the major factors. These are some things that I sort of quote unquote invented just based on the learnings that I've got from my mentors and from the people around me. So I'm thinking of a way to remember these factors easily. So I sort of created an acronym for it. It's called freer. So we want to free ourselves to more. So freer, okay? Those are main point. 5 main points, okay? The one is forgive yourself. Number 2 is recognize yourself. Number 3 is encourage yourself. Number 4 is reward yourself. And number 5 is just repeat. Okay? Are we good? Can you say in the chat section, freer? I'm just waiting for your comments, okay? Just to check if everything is working well. Freer. Can you still hear me, guys? Alright. Okay, let's go to number 1. Forgive yourself. What do I mean by forgiving yourself? Because we tend to procrastinate and we tend to be hard on ourselves. So we want to make sure that we forgive ourselves from unfinished tasks, from getting distracted, and from comparing ourselves to others. We need to forgive ourselves if we do these things. Why do we need to forgive ourselves? Because if we do not forgive ourselves, we will find it hard to move forward. Do you believe in that? We need to forgive ourselves in order to calm ourselves, because we are our own worst enemy. So we need to forgive ourselves so that we can move on and do the next steps that are necessary for us to go back to our focus, to our being the best in ourselves. Alright? So number 2, that's number 1. Number 2, recognize yourself. What do I mean by recognize yourself? It's knowing ourselves. It's determining our personality, because only you can determine the success and the and the failure of your business. So, you need to know yourself. Quote unquote, know thyself. So, when you recognize yourself, you need to know your energy level moments. So, what are these energy level moments? For today, I'll summarize it to 3. Those energy level moments are, number 1, your most focused, undisturbed, magical, in the zone moment. So meaning, these are the hours that you are less distracted and you are not disturbed from any distraction or people around you. These are your zone, in the zone moment, your magical moment, your most focused time. Alright? And the second moment is the one with less thinking. You need to focus, but your thinking level is a bit lower. Okay? And then the third one is the non-thinking or sort of muscle memory habits or moments. So this will be probably your most, perhaps the idle time that you have. And then next, you have to determine your personality if you are an early bird person or you are a night owl. What do I mean by that? If you are used to waking up early, like for example, you wake up at 4 a.m. and you feel productive at that moment. Alright? Or you're a night owl. You sleep late at night and you work best during your nighttime. So from 8 p.m. onwards, you're most productive during those hours. So you need to know yourself if which are you. Okay? And then you have to determine the number of hours of sleep that you need to function well. So like I said earlier, sleep cannot be replaced with any vitamins or supplements. So you need to know how many hours you need to function well, meaning you can be focused for the entire day. For the entire day, you are not distracted or you are not groggy or sleepy, but you are productive. So how many hours? The advice is 7.5 hours. So it actually depends on you. So know yourself when it comes to number of sleep that you needed. And then what is your personality? So you might want to take some personality tests to know yourself more. When it comes to doing tasks, are you a detailed person or are you open to anything? Are you the type of person that you list your to-dos, or you tend to procrastinate? Actually, the personality of open to anything is actually more prone to procrastination. So which one are you? So you need to be aware of that. Are you an old school type of person, meaning you write everything, you use your notebook and your pen instead of using an app on your phone or on your computer? You need to know which one are you. And then, do you work with a background noise, a white noise perhaps, or can you work with many things happening around you, or you work effectively with total silence? Okay, so you need to recognize yourself, which one are you. Okay, next, we need to determine our distractions. Saan ba tayo nadidistract masyado? I sort of invented this JC habit. What do I mean by JC habit? The just checking habit. So for example, you're doing a task, a particular task, and you thought of just checking the internet, or just checking your social media, and just checking your email, and just checking your messages. So in the middle of the task, you do a JC habit, just checking. And you know that that is actually a distraction if you do not include that in your calendar. Okay, so you need to determine the type of distractions that you have. And then you need to have clarity on your destinations and goals and your whys, so that you won't get persuaded by other people. You will know what is most effective for you. And then, are you good with creating 90-day plan, or are you good in creating 30-day challenge, or you go with it with your task weekly or daily? It's up to you. So you need to get clarified on those areas. Now, number 3. Break muna. Are you still there? Can you comment on still there? I'm waiting for your comments, okay? Alright. Okay, number 3. encourage yourself. We need to push ourselves, to persuade ourselves to do this, because otherwise nobody will. So if you do not respect your time and you do not respect yourself, nobody will. If you let yourself get distracted, then other people will distract you, right? I mean, everything needs to start from yourself. Okay? So, how do you encourage yourself? You need to make intelligent decisions, not emotional. So when you do your task, you don't do your task because of how you feel. You do your task because you know that you have some goals that you need to achieve. So you will do it no matter how you feel. So that is what making intelligent decision is. Okay? And then you need to block your time. That's all I have to say. You need to block your time. You need to put everything in writing, or you need to put everything in your app, whatever is the most effective way to you. So you need to block your time when it comes to your moments, those moments that I've discussed earlier, the most focused one, the less thinking, and the non-thinking one. And then you need to also determine how many hours do you need for each moment. And then, for every task that you do, you want to create at least 3 subtasks so that you won't be overwhelmed with the to-dos that you have. Just to release all the thoughts that you have in your mind. So for example, I need to create a video. So creating a video has its subtasks, right? So I need to I need to mind map to do the outline of what I have to say in the video. So I need to type it in. I need to find the media that I needed, the images or the clips or the words that I need to highlight. So those are subtasks when I create a video. Alright? And then, next is, for example, the number one moment that we have, most focused, undisturbed, magical, in the moment zone. You need to, this is just an example, okay? You need to allot 3 to 4 hours for this, because you have to do some income producing activities, the IPAs. And you need to do, these IPAs are actually like this: discovery calls, learning a skill, or perhaps planning or client meeting. These are income producing activities, which most probably are the tasks that you have to do yourself, and you cannot delegate to others. Okay? Now, this is an example. So for example, next week I have a discovery call with a prospect. So that is an income producing activity. Now the second moment is, example is less thinking moment. What are these less thinking moment? You need to set aside, for example, 1 to 2 hours. These hours are depending on you, okay? I'm just giving an example. And then admin tasks. These are recording, simple accounting tasks that you do not need to think hard, or just creating posters and simple email responding. Everything is blocked, so the email response will come in here. Okay, and the sample of that is, for me, is connections, messages, connecting in LinkedIn or FB. Actually, it's FB now, because I think my market are active on Facebook instead of LinkedIn. So there. That's connecting and updating network tracker. So next example is the non-thinking moment. These are just muscle memory habits. There. These are for chatting, for socializing, or personal tasks. Those tasks that you just do, routines. There. That's a sample for me. This is for my service. So I look for music ministry servants and I prepare lyrics. So these are things that I do without really thinking hard. Okay. Now, encourage yourself. Another pointers to block your time is to release and set intention for every transition. What do I mean by that? This is actually the release and set intention uh, thing is what I learned from Brendan Burchard, where you, after you do some tasks, you just release all the thoughts after. You just perhaps 1 minute inhale and exhale, and then release all the thoughts that you have during those tasks that you just did. And then you will set an intention for your next task. So for example, I just finished creating the video. I exported it and it's ready. So the next transition is uploading it to the YouTube channel. So my intention for that task is to be mindful of the keywords that I need to use. So I have to add it on the title, on the description, and the tags. And I need to also determine the description that I would like to type in. Something like that. So that is what we call release and set intention, in order to avoid many thoughts in your mind, right? You need to focus. So this is one of the most important pointers that we need to remember as well. We need to embrace and enjoy the boredom. So for example, you are in this moment where you need to learn a skill. So all you need to do for 30 minutes is to watch a video and take notes. And then, for example, nabore ka na. Kasi nanonood ka, diba? You feel sleepy. So you have the urge to check your messages. Right? Check your messengers and see if anyone send a message to you or whatever. So you got bored and you check your messages, and that is the thing that we are trying to avoid here. That's why we need to embrace and enjoy boredom. We cannot be distracted. We need to embrace the boredom. We need to embrace, if we are sleepy, perhaps we can stretch and then go back to the video that we are watching or to the task that we are doing. So we need to embrace and enjoy boredom. And then, in order to block your time, you have to set limitations. What I mean by limitations, when you do this emails, messages, social media, you have to set limitations for yourself. So, for example, from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., this is where I check my messages and my social media. That is just for 1 hour. So you won't have to do these tasks or these things in the middle of a task that you are currently doing. Okay? So set limitations. Only do these things for a limited time only. And then only open apps or software that you will use. So for example, I'm uploading a video in YouTube. The only window or tab that is open on my browser is the YouTube page, right? I cannot open the Facebook or my email, especially the Gmail. We should avoid opening a browser and checking and leave our email messages on one browser. Sinong guilty dito na minsan ganun yung ginagawa? Hi, Coach Ice! Anyway, sino yung guilty dito na who's guilty here who are opening their Gmail and not close it at all, and it's open the entire time? I'm guilty of this at times. Yep, you need to avoid opening so many apps and focus on the apps or the windows that you are actually using. Okay? And then, have an accountability partner. So your accountability partner can be one person or a group of people. So why do you need an accountability partner? Because you want to share your goals to other people. Kasi nga, di ba sabi ko, I said earlier that we are our own worst enemy. So if we do not share our goals with other people, if we did not accomplish it, wala lang, di ba? And that would come up not achieving really our goals. So we need to have an accountability partner and share with them our goals, our tasks, or what we want to accomplish for the week or for the month, just have an accountability partner for accountability. So you will be, anong tawag dito? Hindi mo ikikip sa sarili mo because you tend to procrastinate. Alright, so you need to have someone to be with you and encourage your accountability partner to share their goals as well. Okay, so I think that's number 3. Yes, we're on number 4. Reward yourself. This is actually a factor that we tend to forget because we are focused on achieving our tasks. Do you agree? So we need to reward ourselves. Why do we need to reward ourselves? Because any reward we give ourselves will make us feel good and will convince us to do more. So we need to reward ourselves. Now, this is only my suggestion, so you can think of the rewards for yourself. So use your love language. So there are, if you're familiar with Gary Chapman's, if I remember it correctly, 5 love languages. So there are 5 love languages. What are those? Those are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, physical touch, and acts of service. So which is your love language? So the reason that I share this is because if you reward yourself, you feel the reward more. You accept and appreciate the reward more if you give yourself a reward that something that you really love receiving. May sense ba yung sinabi ko? Yeah, okay. So, for example, for words of affirmation, perhaps a reward is just a pat in the back, in telling yourself good job. Or you look in the mirror and tell yourself that you did a great job today. It's a simple gesture, yes, but it's something that subconsciously will help you to do more. Okay? These are just examples. So for quality time, perhaps you want to watch an episode of your favorite series. So that is for quality time. I think this one is something that I want for myself. And then perhaps you want to read a favorite book or a novel or visit a salon, have a haircut. And then perhaps you want to meet up with friends because time is your love language. So spending it with people that you love will lift you up, right? You are rewarding yourself. And then if you're into receiving gifts, this is I think is the easiest one. Receiving gifts. So you perhaps buy yourself some clothes, a blouse, or a clip, or whatever, or a ticket to the movie, or a concert, or a drink that you haven't had in a while, perhaps a milk tea, a special flavored milk tea that you've been trying to avoid for the past few weeks, so you can reward yourself with that. Those are just examples and simple things, and there are many gifts that you can give yourself. Okay, and then for physical touch, this is actually easy as well because perhaps you just want to embrace someone. So embrace your loved one and share your success for the day, or pat yourself in the back or in your shoulders and tell yourself you did a great job and it was a nice work. And get more hugs because your love language is physical touch. So all you need to do is get a hug from somebody. Pero wag naman sa stranger, di ba? Get a hug from your loved ones. And I know that for those whose love language is physical touch, hugging someone is very, very rewarding already. Okay? So for the acts of service, you can reward yourself with getting a massage, right? Or prepare a special meal, a meal that you haven't had in a while. Or just give yourself a break. Okay, so those are just examples. You can create rewards according to what you really appreciate. So number 5 is just repeat. Ito na yon. when you feel yourself, when you see yourself and you become aware that you miss a task, you have to forgive yourself and you need to know who you are again, to remind yourself who you are, and then push yourself to doing those tasks again. Oh, so just repeat the steps 1 to 4. Now, again, consider this. Take steps based on what applies to you. Do one step at a time to avoid overwhelm. And then, progress is better than perfection. Alright? So, action steps. Determine your energy level moments and identify the time that you need. Then, what are those energy level moments? The most focused one, the magical one, the in the zone one, and the less thinking moment, and the non-thinking or social. Okay. Next is, when you determine those energy level moments, list all your tasks and categorize or classify them according to those moments. And then get a calendar, perhaps a Google Calendar or a planner or any paperback calendar where you can write in. So whatever is most effective to you. Those are the action steps. Then, after doing those, you need to schedule and block your time. Of course, how can we do this if we do not write it? What gets scheduled gets done, okay? So remember that we need to schedule and block those. And then apply and try to stick to it. And if you fail, then forgive yourself, then know yourself, and then, encourage yourself to do it again. There, implement the major factors. So, when all these things have done, okay, sorry. Namali ako dyan. Naulit yung slides ko. Anyway, the next step is to download the mind map version of this presentation, which I will tell you a little later on how to do it. But right now, determine one step that you can apply right away based on the pointers that I've given you. And then, send me an email to me@conniezabala.com together with your biggest takeaway and your one action step to commit for accountability. Now, pag nag-email ka sa akin, isasend ko sa iyo yung mind map. Because I need to know if you learned something from this session and what is your one action step that you can do right away. Alright, yun lang! Yay! I'm done! Did you learn something? Did you learn something today? I'll be checking your comments. No one watched one episode of series. One episode meaning 130-minute lang. Yay! Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Did you learn something? Can you type in what you've learned from me today? Kahit one sentence lang. Yes, thank you, Coach Ice. Yee! I'll be sharing my face. My face talaga. Do you have any concerns? Thank you for watching. Yay! Did you learn something? May takeaway ba? May takeaway. Diba? Do one task at a time. Kasi pag overwhelmed ka talaga, kailangan mong mag-relax. Actually, I still have a tip. Just take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Okay, I'm going back with my slides. Do you have any concerns? If we're done, I'll check your comment muna. Ulit. So, after this live session, you can put in the comments below and share your one takeaway. And if this is something that you'd like to have in the future, what topic would you suggest para sa ating YouTube live if you're thinking of some topics? Yay! I think we're done. Alright, thank you. Thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you, Coach I, sorry. Binabasa ko yung apps eh. Thank you sa inyo, sobra. Did you learn something? Thanks so much. So, I'll go ahead and end this live session. Thank you again until our next live session. Alright. Actually, kulang pa yan. Madami pa yan. Yung isip ko ayaw tumigil kakaisip ng tips sa slide. So, may dinagdag pa ako sa slide ko kanina. Pinigil ako na lang yung sarili ko. Thank you so much again. And I'll see you again soon for my next video. I'll show my face na lang para masaya naman. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.